Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2. I want to talk about a new character and what his storyline is going to be. And I also want to get into some, I guess just more details regarding Season 2 and some of the storyline stuff here. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. I will have a lot more of the Ones Who Live content coming out in the next couple of days. There's a lot of videos that I wasn't able to get to right away because I was very, very sick. I want to talk about Pearl Thorne and whether or not she's alive. I haven't given my thoughts on that yet because there's a scene at the very end where it really does seem like she's actually still alive, which is it's interesting. So yeah, I just want to get into that. There's some more stuff with the Ones Who Live. Just sort of in general, there's some new story that happened in the finale. There's like this new era now of The Walking Dead that started, as soon as The Ones Who Live was over. So I want to break down a lot of that, get into some of the new variant walkers and all of that. So yeah, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like that. A lot of those videos will probably come out in the next couple of days here. But yes, Dead City Season 2 has started filming. I believe they started filming on Monday. So that's Season 2, Episode 1. They started filming, and I'm really excited to see. I've seen some stuff already. Again, I'm not going to talk about filming updates in terms of that. I'm not going to post photos that people take and stuff of the set and all that, because it's kind of spoilery to me. It's not like officially released. So I'll just kind of mention, just generally that, yeah, like they started filming and stuff. Sometimes if things are like bigger news where I notice other articles and like websites and stuff talking about it, like, oh, there was this. And so, or this person or like this new cast member was spotted. Like, does this mean whatever? Then maybe I'll sort of reference an article talking about it because it's kind of interesting. But generally, I don't get into a lot of that because there's a lot of spoilers there. So but what I will say is Dead City Season 2, looks absolutely incredible. I'm so excited. They're filming right now. They'll probably film until, I'm guessing, July at some point, and then it'll be over, and then they edit everything. And so to me, it kind of looks like, I think we'll probably get our first Daryl Dixon teaser at some point in the next month for sure. At some point this month, we'll get something. I don't know if it's going to be the trailer though. Because everyone's wondering when the release date is, right? I'm thinking August still. I'm just thinking it's going to be out in 4 months. It might be 3 months though. Like it might be 3.5 months. Like it could be very, very early August, but I'm just assuming August because I feel like they're going to want to release the trailer at Comic-Con. But again, they might just go on their own schedule because I feel like people haven't really been releasing trailers at Comic-Cons anymore. Like it's just sort of died down a lot. And The Ones Who Live just kind of did it randomly. So I just feel like they're going to go based off of their own schedule. So yeah, at some point here, we're going to get the trailer and sort of a bunch of new story details for that show. So we got to follow that. But I do think the show's going to be out around July, August, and I'm still leaning more towards August, which means the show ending probably around September, right? And so if the show's ending in September, that's going to be about 2-3 months, probably just for sure at least 2 months since they stopped filming Dead City. And I think we'll probably get a teaser at what to expect for Dead City Season 2. And then, at that point, it's the fall, going into October, and there won't be any Walking Dead shows. I think Dead City's probably going to be out in February at that point. So it's going to be very, very different going through the fall and I guess the holidays there I guess Daryl Dixon Season 2 will kind of be out in the fall a little bit. Like the ending of it will probably be out there. But like, it's going to be really weird, for October, November, December. No Walking Dead content. I don't know. We'll figure out what we talk about then. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of stuff with Dead City. I mean, by then they'll be done filming Daryl Dixon Season 3. There could be, like trailers and stuff or just things getting released for that. So there should be some stuff then. But yeah, that's going to be a very weird time of year. But again, it always seems like that. But I feel like that's where they drop like just random information. Like I always feel like that they always have to have like this consistent flow of like things going on, right? Where like, like maybe they're quiet for like a month, but then all of a sudden they'll release like these new details kind of thing, right? And then they're quiet for another month and then something else will sort of get released, right? Like that's sort of the way it's always kind of been. And so maybe by then, if we don't have any new details on what's next for Rick and Michonne, maybe there's new details that come out then, right? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of for Dead City Season 2, they started filming now and things right now look really amazing, but we do have some new details on the new character. Apparently his name is Bruegal. I believe I'm saying that right. And obviously the actor's name is Kim Coates. He was just cast the other day. Well, actually, it's been like a week now. It feels like it was the other day, but I've just been out of it for that long. But yeah, according to @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter, update. Kim Coates will play Bruegal, the leader of one of the fiercest gangs in New York City, who is more manipulative and intelligent than we might have assumed. This will be a series regular role for season 2 of The Walking Dead, or hashtag The Walking Dead Dead City. So this has me so excited for just the future and all that, because I mean, he's an incredible actor, and I've been seeing the comments on my Dead City video, a lot of people saying that I have to go watch Sons of Anarchy. I probably should. Maybe I actually will go and do that, because well, actually I can't yet because of the Fallout series, which I will be doing a review on. I gotta watch all of that. It's actually perfect timing for me this weekend. I have so much free time tomorrow and the next day, so I'll definitely get a review out for that. Again, this is what is like so exciting about Dead City. Like, it's so interesting when you look at all 3 shows, because The Ones Who Live is like a typical Walking Dead show, right? Daryl Dixon's a little different. There's a lot of different, tones to the show. It feels very different, right? Almost supernatural in a way. There's certain aspects to it like that. But when you look at Dead City, it's very like crime focused, right? Or at least it feels like that. Maybe it's because you're in New York and all of that. And Kim Coates is going to be playing the leader of one of the fiercest gangs in New York City. Like, to me, I'm like, that is like, it's perfect, especially for like Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen. Like, it's just perfect storytelling. I love the tone of this show so much. And I think that, again, like the character being very manipulative too and intelligent, that is very interesting, because I would say that the thing about Dead City is there's not a villain that is very like feared, right? Like, if you look at Daryl Dixon, Madame Genet, oh yeah, she's definitely, I would say you should definitely fear her. Yeah, like obviously she has variant walkers, she has a lot of power and all that. Major General Beale, I'm still so upset about his death and all of that, but when you actually just look at the character beforehand, yeah, very feared throughout the entirety of, well, I would say the Walking Dead universe, definitely within the CRM and surrounding areas, right? But Kim Coates, his new character he's playing, Bruegal, Bruegal could definitely be that sort of character in New York City. And it's just, when I think of like Negan versus Bruegal, and just like, having all these gangs together in New York City and all that, and Negan, the Dama is trying to get Negan to like get everyone on board with what she's trying to do, right? Like, she's trying to gather allies and all this stuff. And it's just like, there's a lot of questions I have on like, why is she trying to do that? And like, what are the issues that Negan's going to come across? And like, how does Maggie get involved in all of this? How does New Babylon get involved in all of this? This is an interesting world that they're building up here. And I think Gimple, and I do think everyone, saw the criticisms for season 1, which really was, it was more just like, you needed a bigger story. You needed, I think, scarier villains in a sense. The Croat was very interesting and a lot of fun at first, but when you compare the Croat to other characters, I mean, we sort of saw it by the end of Dead City. The Croat's not really a villain. He's kind of a side character, right? Which to me is fine. Like, I like the way they told that story. Very unique. It's very different. I love it. I know it's not for everyone, but I do like that story. And I just want to see, more of this though. Kim Coates playing Bruegal, I think is amazing casting. It's so perfect. I can't wait to see the trailer here for this show. I think it's going to look absolutely amazing. And again, they're the ones, like Dead City is the one show that introduced like these new walkers, right? Like, actually had like the Walker King. So what do they do next, right? So I'm really excited to see what they actually do next here, and how that's going to impact the story overall, because there's a lot of elements to this, right? And that's sort of going to be the thing that we talk about over the next couple of months here. We'll talk about Daryl Dixon as well, and Dead City, but and some of the storylines there. But we haven't talked about Dead City a lot, because Dead City ended last summer and Daryl Dixon aired afterwards, and then now we're getting Daryl Dixon again right away, right? So I'll try to focus on Dead City a lot too, because there's gonna, I mean, they're filming right now, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff that comes out in terms of storylines, this and that. And I'm not talking about leaks or anything. I just mean they're probably gonna be announcing this and that, and new casting information, and just like there's gonna be more interviews and stuff on what's going on in general, right? So there's gonna be a lot of stuff, and I will discuss that a lot more in detail, especially when it comes to Hershel. I saw this and I was gonna do a video on it, but there was just so much going on in terms of The Ones Who Live that I couldn't really get to it. And it's the fact that the actor who plays Hershel actually discussed the fact that going into season 2 here, the character will be, I guess, more angry. Like, the character is going to be going down a darker path, it seems like. So I am very excited about that, because Hershel in the comic, at least when he got older, was not a really well-liked character. I think fans didn't like the way he turned out, because they did a big time jump at the very end where he was a lot older. And he just kind of, I mean, he was the opposite of who Glenn was. I'll just say that. Glenn's a very nice person, and all of that. But yeah, his son Hershel just kind of turned out the opposite. Really not that nice of a person. And yeah, I mean, if you read the comic, you obviously know. So I would say that I don't think they're going to do that with the character here because I don't think it really matches, right? Like, I think when you look at this version of Hershel, he does seem more angry. Like, he's actually just, maybe he's angry at Negan, and that's going to be really interesting as well. Is like, what if Hershel wants to try and kill Negan? Like, there's that whole storyline that would just be insane. But he's also very angry with his mom as well. And I think that in season 2, the actor who plays Hershel is actually talking about how the character is going to be going down a darker path here. And I do think, Hershel has a lot to be angry about. And I'm just really interested in him as a character because, Judith and RJ, like, it's so hard to see them, branch out from, I guess, just their parents and like become their own characters. Cause it is kind of hard for them to do, like, it's just, I feel like Judith could do that, but maybe she has to be a little bit older. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hershel, though, like, you could just picture the character in season 1 becoming his own character, and just being like his own person and not just being, oh, like he's Maggie and Glenn's son. No, he's Hershel Ree. He's his own character. And so I want to see what happens here next, in season 2, if the character gets a lot more of a storyline here and actually, starts to develop really well into an awesome character here, because I think he could be a fan favorite, right? And I think making him not just as, I guess, just like as he was in the comic, because in the comic, he was just very whiny and very like, he wanted things to go his way all the time. And he just used people all the time. He didn't really care about people in general. So to me, I just don't want Hershel to be, that person. But I think making him much more angry and changing who he is and not making him, like Maggie or like Glenn, I think would definitely be very, very smart. I think it would be a really interesting character choice and would just make him very unique, but it would be interesting to see those storylines happen in the future as well. And that's sort of, see, those things are like the payoff in terms of watching a show for a very long time, is like, there could be a moment at some point that comes up where Hershel has to make a decision and we see how he reacts to it. And maybe he reacts in a very, very similar way to how his father reacted, and so if you've been watching The Walking Dead for years and you remember how Glenn reacted to this moment, and then you see Hershel all grown up now and, reacting to it and handling it in this way, you're just going to see a scene like that and just be like, wow, that's absolutely incredible. Like, that's why I love like long form television in this sense, because it's like, again, it constantly rewards fans who do watch for that long, right? Again, there's always like these rewards that happen, in terms of if you've been watching that long, because you've also aged that much as well. So you kind of just like, when you're looking back, you also almost remember when that happened, like it happened in real time in your own life. Yeah, a lot to look forward to here with Dead City. I'm very, very interested in where they're going next here. I'm very, very excited for Bruegal, I guess his name is, right? So we'll have to start calling him that. He's going to be the next big villain here. I imagine that the Dama, is probably not going to be that big of a villain anymore. I think she'll be somewhat of a villain. The Croat's going to be more of like Simon and Dwight now, I feel like, just more of a side character, a side character villain or whatever. But the Bruegal, I feel like, is going to be, again, he's a series regular here. He's going to be probably in most of the episodes. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where they're going here and just how this all plays a role in everything here. And yeah, Dead City looks really good. So definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.